Right, welcome. Today we are finally pulling out the engine from my 1991 VW Fox. So, since this was a Fox Sport, this has a 1.8 liter carbureted engine, which over the years has lost a few ponies. So, today we just need to strip this engine because, to be honest with you, we don't know what state this engine's in, whether it's gonna last in the long run. But regardless, we need to pull the engine out to see whether or not we are gonna refurbish it or just completely swap it out. But first things first, we need to go underneath and drain the car's system. So to do that, we need to remove the hose off the block and just let all the water rush out of the engine, as well as the radiator, because we need to get the radiator out because it's kinda in the way. Now, with all the fluids drained out, we need to loosen the radiator. So to do that, I'm just gonna keep quiet because I think we can all appreciate the sound. You need to loosen these two, I think it's number 10s on top of the cradle. You loosen those and you need to disconnect all the pipes. One leads to the water bottle and I'll show you shortly where the other pipes lead.
Let's have a water in here, just to rinse out that brown. I don't want it to be standing, then the brown gets hard inside.
Now, when my father talks about the brown inside that he's gonna wash out, that's all the muck and the dirt and the rust that just builds up from the engine, and that gets flushed into the radiator. And now, with what we're doing now, which is pulling the radiator out and putting it aside, you don't want that to sit and get hard, because once it stops circulating for a while, it gets hard, and only once you put it back in the car, then now all that dirt is going to be going into the engine. So whether you have just refreshed your engine or whether you put a new engine in, all the dirt that was collected and clogged into the radiator, all that is going to get cycled back into your engine. So you don't want that. So if you're pulling your radiator out, make sure you flush it. That way all the dirt and debris that's already inside just gets washed out and it doesn't actually end up back in your engine. Now you see that rusty looking pipe on your screen, that's where the top radiator hose connects onto, and as you can see, if there's rust there, there's bound to be rust in the actual radiator. That's why you need to flush it out. Now if you look at the bottom, that is where we actually pull the pipe off and let all the water get flushed out of. That's why you can still see that it's currently dripping. Now after we did that, we removed the airbox. That thing is extremely loose, so it's not a big hassle to take it off. Then we started removing some of the piping that was just in the way. So now I don't have a tripod, so I had to prop you up on the side to actually just see what's actually going on. So with this being said, please enjoy this time lapse of us removing parts from the car. So now with my father walking off with majority of the piping from the engine bay, it's time that we finally show you how far we are. So as you can see, the water bottle there, no pipes connected to it, how empty the engine bay is starting to become, and you can really see how much we've taken out, including now the same water bottle that I was just talking about. So you can see all of the wiring that is just over this engine bay, and it is screaming for a proper cleanup, and that is exactly what we're going to do once we get the engine out. So now with the tapper cover being removed, it was now up to the task of removing the head bolts. Now this isn't really that difficult of a task, however if you make a mistake here, it could be catastrophic. Now what I mean by that, with putting the tool in, since it's a spline bolt, you get a specific spline that goes into it. Now you need to bang it in so you make sure it's secure. However, if you bang it in and you turn it, well, yeah, from my father's reaction, it's a big deal, because the minute you end up spinning that socket within the bolt and that bolt is cooked, the work or the job that you are now gonna have to try and get that head off. So luckily that was not the case here, and we got the head off with absolute ease. And before you know it, it was time to pull the engine out. Now what we had was the trolley jack just supporting the engine and the weights of the gearbox, because we decided we're just gonna lower them down at the same time instead of separating them. So we had the weight on the trolley jack, and let's just say it didn't go as smoothly as we hoped. But regardless, the engine was still out, so that was the main thing. And with the engine being out, it means we can finally see what we're really working with. Now the engine was actually in a really good state, besides from how it was on the outside. So in the next video we're gonna give it a proper clean to see how good we can actually make it. So as you can see, the engine is just absolutely filthy. It is caked in dirt, so we desperately need to clean it. But other than that, all inside the bores were in really good condition. And with what has been said, this basically wraps up the video. So if you guys do go on to enjoy this video and want to see more content on the Fox, or just want to follow the build, well, hit that like and subscribe button.